Tell me something of your arrangements for me.
4 country houses. You'll move from one to the other in the utmost comfort.
And safety. That's our joint responsibility.
I believe you enjoy war games with tanks. They have been provided at each residence.
That's very thoughtful of you. I would not wish to be bored.
Well, if you're feeling rested, General, perhaps it might be a good idea to make a move for the airport.
The airport, yes. Please. More tedious organization for you. Thank you. Every road to Schwechat covered, from the canal to the city hall, then Hofburg, on past the riding school and the Volksgarten.
You're remarkably well informed about our route.
Come, my friend, it is my profession to know these things. Just as I know about your border operatives.
But
you think you should have an explanation. Then you shall have an explanation. Over a year ago, you British broke a Soviet espionage chain. It was remarkable for you to have done so. It was extremely damaging for us and personally embarrassing for me. Now, Alexei Berenkov is in jail. You must both know that the Soviet Union does not allow its operatives, particularly one so highly regarded, to remain in captivity longer than is absolutely necessary.
are you telling us
That the Soviet government decided at once to repatriate Berenkov as soon as would be practical and deal to the espionage services of the West as harmful a blow as possible. Gentlemen, within the last 90 minutes, my men have seized, I sincerely hope without any fighting, the 200 operatives that you brought over to guard my crossing.
That's impossible.
Nothing is impossible when one has the information and the organization. I am in complete charge of this house. If you doubt me, try summoning assistance. It would be a major task, of course, to transport 200 operatives to the Soviet Union. The best plan will be to photograph them, take their fingerprints, and eventually release them. They will be useless for future espionage activities. But both you gentlemen will be my guests in Moscow until we have arranged to exchange you for Comrade Berenkov.
I simply refuse to believe this. You couldn't possibly know about our operation here without...
Oh, my.
Where's Muffin?
Where indeed? I'm afraid we have lost touch with Mr. Muffin. To know where he is, you would need this, as well as a radio operator to receive the signal. He thought you would like to have it back, as a souvenir.
Oh, my God. Muffin's got away with $500,000.
You really were incredibly stupid, Sir Henry. Charlie Muffin was one of the few real operatives in your service. His capture of Berenkov was brilliant, yet you set him up to be shot in Berlin. You vilify him when he comes home unscathed, you demote him. How can you expect loyalty when you treat a man like that?
The bastard. We'll both be utterly discredited.
Discredited? We'll be a goddamn laughing stock.
Only to your colleagues, gentlemen, and your governments. Would you wish for another small whiskey before we go?
To you, Charlie.
Beg your pardon, sir?
B. Bertie, 620-20828A Apple.
What a waste, Charlie. $50,000 going up in flames.
Well, we've still got 90% of 500,000. I think that should just about see us through, don't you? R. Rutgers, 195-33709. C. Cuthbertson. Oh, I think the fire's much too good for you two.
Charlie, you're not going to keep it.
What, as a souvenir? No, I'm not that stupid. No, I have a special use for our Rutgers sea carpets.
Charlie! You...
You know, I've always wanted to do this. Ever since that little jaunt to Vienna.
You're a clever devil, aren't you, Charlie?
Oh, I am. I am a clever devil.
I mean to have arranged all that over one lunch with Karenin in Vienna. It's fantastic. Did you have to sleep with her, Charlie?
Essential.
And you were just using her, you never loved her.
I never loved her, and I was just using her.
Oh, poor Janet.
She used to say, poor Charlie. Absent friends.
You don't feel guilty at all about this, do you?
Too bloody right I don't. I tried to tell him at every turn that something was wrong. In fact, I damn near ever did it. But Cuthbertson was such a fool, he just wouldn't listen.
You call him a fool, he'd call you a traitor.
Listen, the service is shot of one walking disaster area.
You're a hard case,
Oh,
Charlie.
I'm a hard case.
And I love you.
And I love you too.
Supposing they find us here.
They won't. They'll look all over the world, but they won't look here.
Oh, well, in that case, we have all the time that we need, haven't we?
Well, that music from Spain strikes a lovely chord in our hearts here in the sunny south of England. And